Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Today's tree is palm tree, 棕榈. That's how Chinese say palm tree. And it's one of the occasions when Chinese don't really have one character to denote something. It's double character that denote. When we say 棕 or 榈, it doesn't really make sense. It's 棕榈 together. They make palm tree. And from that, according to my theory of relevance in proportion to simplicity. So the simpler the character is, that means it's more relevant, more embedded in our life. So 棕榈, we have to use two characters. So that means it's not really too frequent occurrence in our life. So I guess that's true because the Chinese language was invented and mostly used by users, literature man, thousands of years ago, ever since, in the middle part of China, which is near the Yellow River or the Yangtze River. And that's the middle or slightly the south to middle of China. And 棕榈 palm tree doesn't occur until the southern part of China, and which is kind of the border of China, because China was land-based civilization and the ocean culture, where it's close to the sea line. It's not really considered a center place. It's not what trade is happening back then. So language-wise, plant from regions that's close to the sea, and eventually close to the southern part of the sea, like Hainan or Shenzhen, the southern part of China, that was not the center of the culture. And therefore, in this Chinese record, 棕榈 palm was not highly incorporated into our everyday life and simplified into a simpler version. So we have to use two characters to mark palm. Both of them share the tree symbol. And you can see, actually, I kind of cut and crop images to piece together because it's not even collected into the dictionary around 100 AD. The scholar Xu Chen summarized all the Chinese. So generations of scholars dedicated into make dictionaries. And so that was the most outstanding back then. So if we regard it, I regard that dictionary as the mid history. So from the beginning of the language to today, that's kind of the midpoint. And somebody did a summary, not somebody, Xu Chen, this particular guy spent his life summarizing all that Chinese characters. So all these characters I cropped from his book. And this particular tree, palm tree, either 棕 or 铝 was not included. And I have to crop it from somewhere. Okay, so the right side here, you can see here, looks like this. It's a dome with a chimney. That means private space. Basically, your home. And then we have two horizontal lines, three vertical lines. That's a Chinese divine decoder, called divine decoder, because ancient times, nature is still a big mystery, right? It's uncontrolled, unpredictable environmental factor out there. So for people to try to communicate, or at least to get a message from heaven, and then to prepare people for what's going to happen next year, is going to, what kind of a weather. So it's kind of ancient weather forecast, right? The two horizontal line means heaven and earth. So that's the space, upper, lower boundary of our existence. And then the three lines, past, present, future. I mean, it's just convenient. It may not be like that, but this timeline gives you the sense of that's where we exist. Actually, we only exist in the now. The past and the future are up for interpretation, both the past and the future. So this together, we're standing on earth, talk to heaven, trying to get a message and to tell the past, present, and future. That's our divine decoder or fortune telling or the oracle. So ancient times, as you may know, Chinese culture worship ancestors. So it's almost like heaven or divinity, like in Greek mythology, Zeus, it's kind of too abstract and far away from their life, right? So people in China worship their ancestors because they come from the same lineage, and ancestors probably got glorified, mystified, and have this put on the pedestal to be worshipped. To people try to talk to their ancestor to get a message. So this ancestor worship in the form of, I guess in Catholic families, you would have this little goddess statue somewhere, right? God or goddess statue somewhere. So in Chinese household, it would be their ancestor's name on the wooden stick and have all that candles or incense in front of it. That's the ritual back there. And so this captured this within your household, you do your ancestor talking and that worship in your household became this zong, and that means your ancestor actually. So this worshiping within your household is an indirect way to connect you to your past, to your ancestors, and that became your ancestor. So ancestor tree made palm. I don't know how that came from, because according to scholars, this is ancestor worship is major Chinese feature, and palm tree is not a central tree for Chinese, unlike a yang and a liu, right? It's part of the landscape. But zonglü, only certain part of China got to see. And how come Chinese character attribute or associate ancestor tree to palm tree? That's beyond me. I don't know. Okay, lü, we have this double panel door symbol over there, and in the middle here is actually your spine, and lü itself is a family name. So this is simply the bones that each blocks on your spine connected by something, right? So 2 is enough to show repetition. You don't have to draw every bone out to show your spine structure. So you have the spine and you have the door together made of lü, this tree. So then I have to come up with some theory. Okay, it's totally imagined. So I would imagine palm tree because it has this almost like spine looking trunk, right? So therefore we put a spine in there. It's a look-alike. Then the door panel, probably because in the ancient times, the palm tree can be found by the beach, but also by somebody's door. It's a landscape for a certain part of China. So door. I mean, I haven't come up with better versions. Maybe you can imagine something, but together, zong and lü mark this one type of tree, palm. There you go. I hope you enjoy this palm tree view. And 棕榈 is how Chinese say it.